How can you become manipulation-proof? Learning to become manipulation-proof is vitally important because, as we speak, someone is in prison right now because they allowed themselves to be manipulated by the police. And good people got sucked into a really bad, toxic relationship because they got manipulated. And hucksters are taking in good people as they lose money while getting very little in return. And innocent people have been pulled into the high-control situations who want to take as much as they can. Manipulation is a serious topic. In today's video, I'll unwrap 9 signs of manipulation. I call them early warning signs. I'll also share the more effective response when you see these signs. And I'll share ways that you can mitigate your tendencies that open you up to manipulation. Here are the 4 life-changing goals of today's video. This video wants to do one thing, and that is help you become manipulation-proof. First, when does persuasion become manipulation? And when does manipulation become gaslighting? We see persuasion in play daily. Persuasion influences, but with relative transparency, and seeks to give you something of value for the value you give. News outlets that have a bias, yet those that are transparent and sincere, aren't manipulators. Manipulation is a different story. They win while you lose. Manipulation leverages deception and dark psychology to get you to do something you normally wouldn't do. Gaslighting, the extreme manifestation of manipulation, distorts reality in a way that makes you question what is real. Gaslighting is all about control. Control that allows them to take and take and take. So that begs the question, what prevents us from seeing manipulation in play and reacting effectively? Well, we overestimate our ability to see the fraud. Malcolm Gladwell's book, Talking to Strangers, documents how highly trained professionals get fooled by people. When it seems others are on board, we tend to trust more than we should. And let's face it, manipulators are really good at what they do. That's why we need to understand their playbook. So let's unwrap the 9 early warning signs of manipulation. The first is what I call the forced goal, or the bully. Manipulators often try to bully you to see if they can force you to give them what they want. A good response when they try to force something on you is to ask, what other options do we have? Questions put the pressure on them to respond. And a question about options is a less direct yet effective response. The next is the use of fear, accusation, and/or guilt. Have you ever confronted a manipulator only to have them fly into an accusation rage? It's manipulation. Guilt tripping works on good, conscientious people who want to do the right thing. Fear, accusation, and guilt move the conversation from facts to putting you on the defensive. What are good responses when it is used? A good why question. Why would you say that my family will reject me if I leave your religion? Why would you accuse me when I asked a simple question? That brings us to early warning sign number 3, and that's when they tell you what you're feeling or thinking. When you watch the police get a false confession, they use this tactic often. It's easy to be confused about your actions when our memories are imperfect. I'm not confused. When someone tries to tell you what you are feeling or thinking, see the practice and set them straight. Why would you tell me what I'm feeling? How would you know? This brings us to manipulator early warning sign, and that's the primer. Priming includes actions that prepare someone to be manipulated. If someone gives you gifts and then asks for a big donation that far exceeds the value of their gifts, you were primed for manipulation. Have you ever noticed how some churches play music and set the mood before asking for donations? Have you ever noticed a salesperson asking some obvious questions to get yes answers from you before asking for the sale? This is priming. Sometimes priming involves an us versus them narrative, how bad another group is so that you are more likely to agree to radical actions. Once you see it, it's easy to navigate it. But seeing might take time to recognize. Early warning sign number 5 involves an opinion that is stated as fact. Labeling a group as the radical left doesn't make them so. It's an opinion. Saying that no one can deny the truth of the Bible doesn't make it so. And so forth. When you can separate opinion from the fact, you're well on your way to becoming manipulation-proof. A good response is, I'll accept that as your opinion. Speaking of opinion, we trust people in situations that others have endorsed. It's called social proof. Sometimes the social proof is a lie, and sometimes you might notice the use of a vague social proof reference. Everybody loves. When you see it, point it out. Everybody? Seriously? Manipulators love to isolate people when they're swooping in for the kill. They don't want you influenced by others, and they want to limit your ability to fact-check them. If police are questioning you and you see manipulation, get a lawyer. If you're being sold a high-priced personal development seminar, phone a friend before saying yes. The same is true for the urgency manipulation tactic. Slow down the decision process. Trading the farm for that gold mine can wait a few days. When you see urgency being used on you, slow it down or you'll make a bad choice. The final early warning sign, lying and exaggerating, will make you feel off about what they're saying. Manipulators claim the most outrageous things. And and when they do, it won't feel right. Trust your gut. Be skeptical. Push back. Phone a friend, pull in a professional, because if it feels like they're lying, you owe it to yourself to investigate. Would it surprise you to learn that police sometimes fabricate evidence to get a confession? Would it surprise you to learn that Hitler's propaganda chief knew that big lies were easier to sell? Rational, skeptical, and thorough analysis will keep you from bad decisions. Speaking of decisions, let's unwrap the reasons, the personal ones, that make us vulnerable to manipulators. My grandparents had hearts of gold. And they literally sold their farm to buy into a gold mine that wasn't real. Why? Well, greed. And they were naive, far too trusting of some very manipulative people. When we understand our inclinations, we're in a position to mitigate them. Healing starts with awareness. Time is on our side. Phone a friend or pull in a professional anytime you're getting in over your head. The road to becoming manipulation-proof is paved with awareness. Today, we learned to spot 9 early warning signs of manipulation and how to respond. We also saw that when we're aware of our tendencies, we're able to mitigate them. Thanks for joining us at the Change Capability Institute.